Scott Panchik has qualified for the 2022 CrossFit Games despite the fact that he claims to be a retired CrossFit athlete. Is the video I'd really like to be making. And hey, who knows, maybe somewhere in the multiverse, it's the video I am making. But not here, not now. No, unfortunately, the video I'm making is the fact that despite looking like he was going to qualify for the CrossFit Games, Scott Panchik has had to withdraw from competition due to an injury, particularly a knee injury. Now, we may be thinking, oh no, Scott, not that dodgy knee, not once again. But unfortunately, this time, it wasn't his bad knee, it was his good knee. So maybe we're thinking, well, you know what? He's an athlete, and this happens to athletes. They get injured. It's inevitable. But was it inevitable? Or could this injury have been avoided? In fact, we could ask, was this an accident, an oversight, or was this incompetence? Well, I'll let you be the judge of that. You know me, I like to ask questions. So I've asked a few questions, haven't necessarily got the answers I'd like, and I am going to need your help to do that. So already I'm going to ask if you can like the video, if you can subscribe to the channel, if you can share it around, that would really help. And I'll explain why that would help a little bit later. So it's sad. These things happen, right? People get injured. But there's a few things we need to look at with regards to Scott Panchik's injury. First of all, the event itself. So this was one of the two events that were provided directly from CrossFit. So you may be aware that there will be two events that will be held at every semi-final, the same two events. So we saw it at Torian, we saw it at Lowlands, and we saw them at the Syndicate Crown. Now, one of these two workouts is a repeat from regionals, and it's 10 rounds for time of one legless rope climb, 15 foot, and then a 170-foot run. It's a fast workout. Now, this is the one that Scott got injured on. Now, I just said that this is the same workout being held at every semi-final. Now, that's not quite true because it did look a little bit different at Syndicate compared to both Lowlands and Torian. What was the difference? Well, it was the length of the rope. Not the length of the rope that needed to be climbed, that of course remained the same. But at both Lowlands and Torian, the rope stopped just before touching the floor. Now, this wasn't the case at Syndicate Crown. Now, why does that matter? Well, let's go and have a look at Scott Panchik's Instagram post, and we'll see why he felt that this was important. So Scott said, at 7:30 a.m., we were briefed on the day's events. After seeing the amount of rope left lying on the competition floor, I verbally expressed concerns I had for athlete safety in an event as fast as this one. I felt I presented a strong case with the various examples of why this could be unsafe. There have been multiple noted injuries in the past at events like this. I also mentioned that the Torian Pro had done this event already and the rope was cut, keeping all the ropes off the ground. I was told nothing could be done to change the ropes, and this is what was provided to be used. So Scott saw the danger, raised his concerns. It seemed that nothing could be done. Now, this is what Scott's got to say on the matter. Now, of course, I like to ask questions. I like to kind of get different people's points of view. And I didn't want to record a video just based on what Scott Panchik had said. So I reached out to Syndicate Crown. I was given an email address to send my question to. I sent my question in. They didn't get back to me. But don't worry, because I also reached out to CrossFit Games directly, and they didn't get back to me. I reached out to the PFAA, so they're looking out for the athletes, and they didn't get back to me. Now, of course, this could all change by the time this video is uploaded. Maybe my inbox will be full of emails, people answering my questions. I kind of doubt it, but who knows? It could happen. And this is why I was saying before, I need your help. If you could help this channel grow, then maybe they would get back to me. I can't help but feel like if I had been the morning chalk up asking these questions, I probably would have got answers. Or if I do get answers eventually, I probably would have got answers in a more timely fashion. So I've asked questions, I've had no answers. So if they're not going to give me answers, then I guess we're just going to have to take a closer look at what Scott said. So we could reason, well, hold on. He pointed out that this rope was there. So he was aware of it. Other athletes were aware of it. couldn't they have just been more careful on their descent? Maybe that way they would look out for the rope, they would avoid it, there would be no risk of injury. They know the rope is there. But think about the workout itself. And Scott said this in his post. On the broadcast, this was described as a drag race. It was described as a fast and punchy workout. In fact, the trifecta recipe for success was a fast descent. So they knew very well that athletes were going to be throwing themselves down this rope as fast as they possibly could. It's also interesting to think about Scott Panchik himself. Now, this is something that was actually pointed out to me by Mike Halpin. Now, if you don't follow Mike, I'll put something up somewhere. He was actually posting up all throughout the weekend spreadsheets with the updated leaderboards. He was mixing in things so you could see, for example, how different athletes stacked up when they were doing the same event across the different semifinals. So, really interesting stuff. If you're busy and you can't follow everything that's going on over the 3 days of a semifinal, definitely give Mike a follow. At least you'll know what's happening on the leaderboard. But he highlighted to me something that I wasn't actually aware of, and that was a specific role that Scott Panchik fulfills for CrossFit themselves. So Scott Panchik is a member of CrossFit's Athlete Advisory Council, and their job is to give insight and input on a wide range of issues that affect the sport. So you would think safety is probably one of those. So you've got someone as experienced as Scott Panchik at your event. He's highlighted there's a potential danger, and you go ahead anyway. Now, I feel bad because I don't want to blame Syndicate Crown. In fact, I reached out because I wanted their side of the story and I wasn't given it. But at this point, I kind of leave it up to you to decide. What do you think? Was this just an accident? Was this just a small oversight? Or was this incompetence? Should they have known better? I mean, this was an event that took place in 2014. We've had plenty of time to learn best practices with rope climbs and things like that. So in conclusion, well, I leave it up to you to decide what you think. But all I can say is that we wish Scott Panchik a speedy recovery. We hope to see him back on the competition floor in some form in the future. This guy says he's retired, but look what he's done this year. And hopefully lessons have been learned for the semifinals that are still yet to take place. And this isn't something we'll see a repeat of in the coming weeks. So thank you once again. Please like the video, subscribe, share it around if you could. That would be really helpful. And I'll see you all very soon.